Hello guys, Robot1 here, and today I'm bringing you my third place PePe deck. Now, I played this at my locals for the first week. I ended up coming third place in the tournament. I probably came further, but sadly I don't have one of the cards I needed. And I was hoping that I would get further, but I know I'd have won more games if I had the one card, which is Tractrix Rafflesia. I'm hoping to get that soon so I can, you know, update this deck and make it be able to win a bit higher place in the tournament. Plus, I'm also going to, during this deck profile, also show you what I'm using instead of Rafflesia. It's not as good, but what can I say? And yeah, so let's get on with this because I really want to show you what my PePe deck is like. So let's start off then. So of course we're running the free Skullcrobat Joker. He's your Stratos of the deck. He enables you to search everything you want. Well, practically half your deck. He allows you to search out your Sorcerer for your Sorcerer plays, your Monkey Board for your Scale plays. He allows you to search everything in your deck essentially that you would require to build a Scale or to be able to just make all your really big combo plays. So he's your Stratos for the deck. He's a very good card and he helps a lot. Next, I run 3 Monkey Boards. It's pretty obvious why you run 3 Monkey Boards, same reason as Joker. He's basically a Stratos for the deck, and you mainly run him so you can search out another Scale, because this is basically a 1-card Scale, because if you have this card in your hand, then you can just set it, search out, say, a Guitar Turtle or a Lizard Draw, and then you'll be able to set up your Scale instantly just because you had this card, so it's actually very helpful. Plus there's a combination you can do with this with Luster Pendulum, which is like, if you have this in your other Scale, you can be like, if you have this in your other Scale and you Luster Pendulum, then you can Luster Pendulum your Monkey Board. Well, if you only have a Monkey Board and a Luster in hand, you can be like, well, if the Monkey Board is the best Scale you have, of course, you can be like, Luster, activate Monkey, Monkey search a low Scale. Then you can use Luster, search another Monkey, and then set the low Scale so you can then perform a Pendulum Summon. Because the only downside with this card really is if you don't have a Performer Power in the other Scale, he becomes a Scale 4, and he's very good when he can be used for Pendulum Summons. Of course you wouldn't really want him in the Scale because the fact that he can go to level 4, I mean Scale 4, but still a very good card nonetheless for searching, and he can still help you very much. But the thing is, you can't really Pendulum Summon him with this deck unless you set Joker as the Scale. But you really never want to do that because he's your Stratos for the deck and you want to search. So next, I run 2 Performer Power Pendulum Sorcerer. Now you're probably thinking, why 2? I played 2 because I don't really see the point of running 3. Because when you think about it, Pendulum Sorcerer is a great card, but you can search him out really easy in the deck with Monkey Board and you've got to search this card out in the deck. You've got your Monkey Board, you've got your Majesty's Paladin, you've got your Skullcrobat Joker, you've got your Wavering Eyes. You've got so many cards to search him out that you don't really care if you're drawing him or not, and if you draw him, it's just a bonus. So playing him at 2 is completely fine for the deck, and he doesn't really need to be more than 2. So I don't really get why people are playing 3, but well, I get why they're playing 3 because they just want to draw the card, but you don't really need to play him at 3, and 2 is enough for me. So what I found out is that 2 is enough. Next, 2 Lizard Draw. I play 2 Lizard Draw mainly because he's a good way to get pluses. Plus, if you Pendulum Summon this card and your opponent kills another monster, you're getting at least another +1. You're getting at least another draw out of him. So he's very good for that factor as well. Because for the next card, he also makes a really good play, which is 2 Guitar Turtle. Because if you have 2 Lizard Draw, if you have a Lizard Draw and a Guitar Turtle in hand, that's a +2 instantly, just because you have the 2 cards. So you could be drawing into a lower Scale, you could be drawing into your Performer Power engine in the deck, your Perform Mage engine in the deck. You could draw into anything just because of these 2 cards. Plus it allows you to get your spells and traps to hand quicker, which is very good for the deck because you really want to siphon through your deck as fast as possible, so you can get all your Pendulum stuff ready to go. And for the Performer Power stuff, for the last card in them, I run 1 Performer Power Part Naga. Now, I run one part Naga just because he's the target for King of the Feral Imps, which he is in the extra deck. And he's just a very good card because he also allows you to gain attack boost. Plus, if you Pendulum Summon him, then you Pendulum Summon Sorcerer with him, then you can be like, Sorcerer Chainlink 1, and then this Chainlink 2. Part Naga can target any monster you control, and then the monster that I targeted will gain so much attack. Will gain about, say you have a two performing powers on the scale, and Skullcrobat Sorcerer and Naga. Your Skullcrobat, you could essentially put a wizard or the Skullcrobat up by another 1500 attack permanently, because it's not just for one turn, it's actually forever, which most people don't know about this card. So Part Naga is a very good card, plus it's a low scale target, so he's very good because he can just he can make your Pendulum Summon plays work, and he can give you extra attack boost, but can actually give you the game sometimes. So, and those are the Perform powers, and starting off with the Perform Mage, we play 3 Perform Mage Damage Juggler. Damage Juggler is mainly here just because he's a great card, he enables all your plays, and you can be like, if your opponent has Wavering Eyes, and you just discard Juggler and negate it, so that's very good as well. Plus, he can search out your entire Perform Mage engine, which is very good as well. So this card is essentially a hand trap, a searcher, and everything else all in one, which is very good for the deck. Plus, he's a 15 beat stick, so you can't really complain. He's okay. Yeah, so next I run 3 Perform Mage Plushfire. Perform Mage Plushfire, you have to really run it in PePe because it allows you to go through your deck and make more XYZ plays. Because the point of PePe is, with Sorcerer, is summoning like a Plushfire and Wizard, and then destroying a Plushfire and one of your scales, or 2 Plushfire if you have it, and then just summon 2 more Perform Mages from your deck to get off more plays, more XYZ plays, and then you can just plus off those XYZ plays, because you could be summoning like a Trick Clown, a Damage Juggler to search, Hat Tricker with. You could be searching you could be special summoning anything from your deck just because of this one card, and it's very good because of that. Plus, you're getting 2 cards of Sorcerer in the process, so you're essentially going to be plussing at least 3, which is very good for the deck. Next, I run 2 Perform Mage Mirror Conductor. I run 2 Mirror Conductor because Mirror Conductor is just a very good card. It can switch stats, which is very good, and he can just help a lot with plays, which most cards don't do in this deck. And he essentially can just help you get over this really big beat sticks that you weren't able to go over before. So he's a very good card because of that. Next, 2 for Perform Mage Hat Tricker. Just a good card in general. You can search him out with Damage Juggler, and then just special summon him in defense to make XYZ plays. If your opponent controls a monster as well, you control 2 monsters, and then you can just go to make big XYZ plays just because of this. Plus, one of the main reasons this deck can get over stuff like Nat Beast and Anti-Spell Fragrance is because of this card. Because if your opponent controls a anti-spell or that, then you're not another monster, then you can just be like, oh, I have a monster in hand, I have this in hand, I can normal summon the monster, special summon this, and then special summon the Diamond Direwolf from your extra deck to either clear or cast spell to either clear the anti-spell or the Nat Beast, so you're able to make your XYZ play, your Pendulum plays again, which is very good in the deck. So Hat Trick is very good. And then I play 1 Trick Clown just because he's a good he's a good level 4 that can also come back in defense position, and then just make more XYZ plays with him, which is very good as well. So that's it for the Perform Mages. Now on to the next cards. I run 2 Luster Pendulum. I would probably play 3 Luster Pendulum to be honest, but I don't own a third, plus 2 Luster Pendulum actually works better for me in this situation because it means I can play other stuff. And also he's very good because you can use him for the Monkey Board play, you can use him for the Plushfire play, you can use him for so many plays, plus he's your target to make Ignista and stuff with, so he's just very good in that fact as well. So Luster Pendulum is a very good card as well, which you cannot forget in the deck. Next, I play 1 Master Pendulum in Draco Slayer. The reason why I think 2 Luster Pendulum is good as well, because you can just replace the third for this, and this is a very good card in its own right, because when you're summoning cards, if you're summoning this of Ignista, you can't make any XYZ plays except for Magis Paladin, but if you summon this of Ignista, you can literally make any rank 4 in your deck to be able to get off so many different plays just because you're playing this instead, and it just enables you to have very good plays in the end of it. So playing one of this is very good as well, and I really like the fact that it's there. So for the last monster in the deck, I play one Vector Pendulum. Now the reason I'm playing one Vector Pendulum is because I don't have a second, of course. Because if I had a second, I would try to work it in, but I don't really need a second because this deck doesn't really need it. But the reason I play Vector is because when you think about it, Vector is a very good card against PePe right now, because if you activate this against your PePe first turn, then they're not going to be able to make their Pendulum plays. So if they only have a monkey board in hand with some Pendulum cards that are low scale, then they can't use the monkey board's effect to then search, because you have the Vector in scale, which is very good. Because you can be like, oh, you have a scale that you can't use now. Good job, you lose. And he's a scale 3 as well, which enables you to be making tons of more plays just because of him. So he's a very good card, and I like him just for the fact that he can negate the Pendulum scales. So those are the monsters I play. So that's the monsters of the deck. Next onto the spells. So for spells, I play 3 Wavering Eyes. Obviously you're going to play 3 Wavering Eyes in the deck. It's one of the best cards in Pendulum decks right now, because when you're Wavering Eyes for 4, it's just too strong, it's just very powerful, and you can't complain about it. Because Wavering Eyes is probably one of the best cards in the deck, and you can't really complain when you've got a Wavering Eyes out. So he's very good, and Wavering Eyes, also when you Wavering Eyes for 4, it means you just win instantly, because you can be like, oh, I deal you 500, search a Pendulum monster, banish one of your cards, and I search another Wavering Eyes to pop all your scales next turn. So they essentially can't get out of that, and that just gives you game instantly there. Next, I play 2 Twin Twister. I was actually very lucky because before the tournament started, I pulled my second Twin Twister, because as you know, I only got 1 out of my 3 boxes. So I was very lucky to pull my second Twin Twister out of my pack. So my entry pack, and I was just so happy to do it because this actually helped me through so many games, and it actually lost me a game. I actually lost against this card as well quite a few times, because the only reason I didn't come top 2 was because Twin Twister is OP and the guy opened it because I went first, and I had 1 back row and a Vector in scale, and I was playing against PePe obviously, and he Twin Twisted my Vector and back row, which was a Solemn Strike or a Grand Horn, I can't really remember. And because of that, he was able to just completely cut me off, and I lost because of it. So I couldn't really complain. But Twin Twister is just such a good card to play, and it's double MST, which is very good. Plus, it allows you to pop the scale if they Wavering Eyes you. So next, 1 Raigeki, obviously just a clear board. I found myself siding it out quite a bit, but still a very good card, and a very good card to have in the deck. So next for traps, I play 1 Vanity's Emptiness, just because it's a very good card to have in the deck. I play 1 Time Space Trap Hole. This is why I would play Rafflesia, because I play Trap Holes, but I really don't have the card yet, so I can't really play it. And it's reasons why I would have probably gone higher in my tournament if I actually had Rafflesia. So 1 Time Space just to deal with Pendulums, plus Magispectors and stuff, because people still actually play the Magispector deck that I know. 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, just because Rafflesia as well, plus they Pendulum Summon 5, I Bottomless, they cry inside. 1 Horn of Heaven, because I don't have a second strike, because I only pulled 1 strike out of my sneaky packs. So 1 Horn of Heaven. 1 Solemn Strike, because Solemn Strike is one of the best cards in the game right now, and you have to have the card if you want to win. And 1 Solemn Warning, just because it's just a really good card, and it's just great for the Solemn plays, because it negates summons and everything. Because negating summons is really one of the best things of this format. So next, I will show you my extra deck. I play 1 Ptolemaeus just for the big rank up plays. 1 Cowboy for game. 1 Abyss Dweller. Now the Abyss Dweller should be a Rafflesia, but I really didn't have the Rafflesia, as you know, so I had to swap out for Dweller. And Dweller really didn't help me on the day, so I can't really judge him in any way. So yeah, I would prefer it if he was obviously a Rafflesia, because I'd have won more games, but it's still a good card nonetheless. 1 Dagos Emerald, just to recycle stuff back into my deck or my extra deck. 1 Majesty's Paladin, because he's a great Xyz that can search cards Plus you can use him in the Draco Slayer combo to OTK. 1 Diamond Direwolf to deal with problematic cards like back row. 1 Castel to obviously deal with problematic cards. 1 King of Faerolums to search out my Part Naga, my Lizard Draw and stuff like that. 1 Trapeze to go for game, and also because he's a good wall and he can stop effect damage. 1 Nova to make Infinity off the Ptolemaeus. 1 Pleiades, because if I can't make anything else, then Pleiades is just the second best bet. 1 Constellar Diamond, just because can be attached to Ptolemaeus, and because if I go up against something like BA, I can just summon this and then they can pretty much cry. 1 Cyber Dragon Infinity for obvious reasons, negating effects and absorbing monsters. 1 Ignista because I don't have the second, and because of the Ignista combo play, which I actually pulled off twice, and I won every time I pulled it off, which was really good. And 1 Dynista Power the Mighty Draco Slayer. So yeah, he's very good as well because this actually makes the Draco Slayer play possible. Because without him, I wouldn't actually be able to make the Ignista, Paladin, this, and 1 Draco Slayer, which actually can lead 2 game from that point on. So yeah, he's a great card. Plus, he can stop you from being Wavering Eyes, and it's a great first turn play. So that's the extra deck, and let's move on to the side deck. So I played 2 Mistaken Accusations. I never sided them in, but the concept behind them is really good because this card is basically you target a card your opponent controls if they have more cards than you, and then neither of us can use that card for the rest of the turn. So if I dueled against something like, say, Kaijus or Magicians, then I could just activate this card and then they couldn't use the card I targeted for the rest of the game. So yeah, 2 MST just in case I needed them, because siding MST is always good. 2 Grand Horn of Heaven. This was the most sided in card against in the day because I mainly went up against PePes, so it was really good to side that in. 2 Trap Stun, because Trap Stun was good and it helps you win. 2 Xyz Universe. You're probably thinking, where's the big Xyz DDD? But I actually mistook what this card this did, because I thought it wasn't 1 less or equal. I thought it was just less or equal. So I made a big mistake on that and lost because of it. And it actually also, I lost a game because of it when the guy used it against me, because when I was used against me, I thought it was just less in general, not 1 or less. So yeah, I lost because of I lost that game, but it didn't really matter because I can still use this against BA and stuff if they have double Dante, or I have an Xyz and they have Dante, so I can't really, so it's actually still a good side, but yeah. 2 Shadow Imp for any dark decks like Black Wings, BA, Rogue, stuff like that. And 3 Imperial Iron Wall for Cosmos. So yeah, guys, tell me what you think. Tell me if you like my deck, and tell me if you would play this build of PePe, because I like this build a lot, and it's gotten me quite high on Death Pro right now, and it hasn't really lost any games, so I actually really like the deck. So guys, please tell me what you think of my deck. Please tell me if you would play the deck, and please like, comment, and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos and more deck profiles and stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.